And we have breaking news, another wake-up call for America. Standard & Poor's warning 15 nations in Europe that they won't keep their AAA credit status for long if they don't get their debt in order. The United States, of course, already downgraded over the summer. So will this help get our politicians to actually do something about it? Tonight's power players, we got Lenore Hawkins, Gary B. Smith, and Mark Taggi. Gary B., is this a wake-up call we've been waiting for?
I would hope so, David, but it's not going to be until after the election. Look, I think the reason is simple. In order for our economy to grow, and I think that's what's really necessary, there has to be less government. Every single study has shown that the smaller the government, the higher the growth. Flip that around, though. The whole, what Obama and every congressman and senator really wants is bigger government. I hate to say it, because bigger government means more job security. I mean, you don't go to your powers to be at Fox and say, hey, you know what, I'd like to do less. So, no. Obama wants more because he wants to be reelected, and that's going to run counter.
I understand, but Lenore, I just got to press this, and we don't have much time, but the fact is that we need something, some kind of wake-up call. Is this it, the S&P notice of downgrading?
It didn't work here. I don't really see it working there until we get some sort of consensus in D.C. over what actually grows an economy and what hampers it. I don't think much is going to get done.
Mark Taggi, what do you think?
No, I don't. I see that the euro is basically is dead, and they're going to have to reconfigure things in Europe. And it's kind of a sign of the times, and it's a sign. I think it tells us something here. We're going to have to get very serious about raising taxes, and B, cutting spending. I mean, we're going to have to raise taxes. We're going to have to do both.
We got to get our books in order. That's clear. Gang, we're going to hear more from the panel coming up a little later in the show. We thank you very much. Why it just got more likely that class warfare isn't going anywhere.
Almost tastes like one of Jack's cereals. Fiber One.
Oh, I forgot Jack's cereal.
What's for breakfast?
Try the number one.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Half a day's worth of fiber. Fiber One.
What? Loves bailouts. The Dow up triple digits for part of the day, then falling back on brand new debt fears in Europe, including that downgrade threat we mentioned earlier in the show, ending with just a 78-point gain. So is it time to start worrying when even bailout rallies don't last? Welcome back, our power players. Lenore, are you worried?
Well, these kinds of rallies are characteristic of a bear market. If you look from a historical perspective, if we look back at what happened between late 2007 and early 2009, there were 4 such expansions of these global swap lines. And each one of those expansions, if you added them all up, accounted for about 3,000-point increase in the Dow. Yet over that entire period, the Dow was cut in half. So these little rallies that we get don't mean that everything is solved.
But let me make it even.
The problem is solvency.
Let me make it even more simple, Mark. I think that the market is made up of a lot of rich bankers. I mean, it's made up of millions of other people too. But these are people who love to be bailed out. You and I, by the way, we don't share a lot in common, but we do share in common a distaste for these bailout of rich people, right?
Well, I don't think there's going to be any bailouts coming in Europe because I don't think they can afford to do it, and Europe is very divided on that, David. So I don't think that's going to happen, and I think we are in a bear market, and everybody's looking to opportunities to where they can make short, quick profits during this bear market environment. But I think that Europe right now is in deep trouble, and I don't see anything that's been put on the table thus far solving the problem. They need to go to a central bank where they have sovereign debt, where they're able to issue euro bonds and trade those bonds, and that's going to mean the northern nations are going to have to guarantee that debt.
But bringing it back home, Gary B., how is all this going to spill over here? This love of bailouts. I think this love of bailouts over there.
I think it's going to spill over, whatever you said, spill over negatively, David, because look, bailouts are, we're getting addicted to bailouts and they fix nothing. It's like giving an addict another hit of cocaine or whatever. It fixes nothing. The real problem is on the spending part. It's not on bailing out. Look, we didn't fix General Motors by a bailout. We still owe $1 zillion there. We didn't fix AIG and all the others. That's the problem, but we're getting addicted to it because the market loves the short term.
All right, let's shift gears a little bit. Everybody hates those ATM fees. Who wants to pay more money just to gain access to your own money? Well, that fee could be eliminated by watching a commercial. That's right, with a new device that's being developed, customers would watch a commercial and skip paying the ATM fee. The device isn't being used yet, and it would only apply to privately owned ATMs. But will the big banks eventually sign on? Mark, what do you think?
I don't think the big banks will sign on other than the fact to get more advertising revenue. I don't see the big banks, David, cutting their fees in any way at all because this is too profitable of a business. And, hey, you know, advertising, we're seeing advertising pop up in more places.
But, Gary B., don't you love the idea? I mean, I love it when there's a market solution to a problem rather than a government solution. You sit around, you watch a commercial, and you avoid a $3 fee. I like that idea.
You hit the nail on the head. Look, why would the big banks do it? Because maybe they'll steal customers from the other big banks. And look, maybe it's a dumb idea. Maybe it doesn't work. That's the beautiful thing about the market, David, as you implied. If it doesn't work, say Bank of America tries it, then they cancel it like they did their bank fees, and they move on to the next revenue-generating opportunity.
We need to take billboards to Congress.
Well, perhaps. But, Lenore, the only
Capitol.
drawback I can see to this is if there's a long line and you have everybody waiting for a 3-minute commercial. That might get a little annoying.
That'll get a little annoying. And ATMs, I think, also are becoming less valuable as we're able to buy more and more with smart cards or cell phones. There's many places now where you can buy just a soft drink using your smartphone instead of a cash.
Okay.
So how valuable is an ATM over time?
All right, gang, thank you very much. Thanks to our power panel. From occupier to occupation, how a Wall Street firm changed the entire worldview for one former protester. Now she actually works on Wall Street and may be part of the 1%. But first, Eric Bowling is here with a preview of his show. Straight ahead, Eric.
Coming up next on Follow the Money, Regulation Nation running amok. The truck driver who got a traffic ticket for $30,000. The outrageous story. That's next. Dave will be right back.